grow, you know.
Well, I think that I think that balance is real important. Because when I think about it, it's like, okay, we all human. So this idea that um, this I think this idea that somehow I can't relate to you because we grew up different, or we have different cultures or whatever. I think we can push a lot of that to the side and just kind of say, even if I'm different from you, deliberately different, even if my life has changed and I'm in a different crowd, I'm still going to connect with you on one level, but that does not mean I'm going to connect with you the same way all the time, throughout my life. So, for example, I think about my own life. I had friends, certain friends I had years ago, where now, we don't have as much in common, but that does not mean that I can't still relate to you on some level. It also doesn't mean that I can't make new friends from other kinds of backgrounds. Like, so when you talk about, you and I, you're not connecting as friends. The way I see it is, we have a lot of things in common. You know what I mean? Like I don't know all the details about your background. I know that you've overcome a lot and you've achieved a lot. But when I see you, I see a person who cares about the community. I see a person who is also a former teacher. Because I left my teaching job for the same reasons you did. I said the same thing to myself. I said, okay, wait a minute. I'm talking to 30, 40 people at a time. Why not talk to 40,000 at a time? You know what I mean? And, and
Right.
and technology lets you do that. You got fans all over the planet. When we released our app the other day, the Boyce Watkins app, and my manager showed me all the countries like for people downloading it, and I said I didn't even know we had people in Bangladesh and
Man.
Belgium and all these other. I mean, any country you name, it was on there, and it spoke to the power of being able to just connect on so many levels in so many ways, and I think also with friendships, I think with black men, it's important that we play chess. We got to play chess, not checkers, as they say, because unfortunately we live in such a crazy situation where there's so many people out here trying to kill us. So many people. With Southside Chicago, just yesterday, little poor little little kid, 9-year-old boy got murdered on his way to his grandmother's house, and you in New Orleans, so you see it, every bit as much. And it's like, there, number one, there are people that set up infrastructure for our death, for our destruction, for our genocide. For example, when Father Michael Flager went to protest the gun manufacturer, the gun maker that was in the suburbs sending guns to the hood, they were threatening to kill him for speaking out on that, because they would deliver these guns, they would get stolen. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to keep track of them, and next thing little black kids are killing each other, and you look even deeper and you just see culturally how music, just the power of hip hop, has just been flipped and bastardized and become a weapon of mass destruction. It's not, this is not Chuck D's version of hip hop. This is something that is almost like it was created by an alien life form. Like
Mm-hmm.
we been so brainwashed that we can actually sing and dance and celebrate the deaths of our children and our families. I mean, it's crazy. Even the guys where the words are coming out of their mouths. Listening to this, and you and I, we both talked about Lil Wayne. And actually, just to tell you the truth, man, my position with Wayne has evolved in the sense of me trying to understand him more than
Mm-hmm.
than criticize, right? But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm listening to him and also Boosie. I've seen Boosie try to grow as well, and I respect that his effort toward growth. But it's like I'm sitting there thinking, okay, you know more about what it's like to live through homicide than anybody else. You probably have more friends that have been murdered than I do. You went to prison. I ain't never gone to prison, so you know how horrible prison torture is. You've endured poverty more than most people. So there is absolutely no reason for you to ever think that it makes sense for you to rap about these things like they're good. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
glorified man,
Yeah,
right?
like talk about it. If you want to talk about it, fine. Like you're talking about violence in
Yeah.
that song, but you're not making it seem like it's something cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, like I'm exactly. And people think if you're not glorifying it, that means you're a positive rapper. Man, what's positive about one of my students killing one of my other students, man? What's positive about me crying in the video? You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't get it just because you're not glorifying it. The glorification of death and destruction is something that we are so cool with. That's almost the status quo when it comes to hip hop now, at least the hip hop that I grew up on. And that's the part, like you said, I have come to a place of evolution too, to where actually I don't think I was ever outwardly just critical of these brothers, because I always did understand it from a more intimate point of view, like the Lil Waynes or the Lil Boosies. I got ties to these brothers that you'd never believe that that's a whole nother interview and some stuff I've been through indirectly dealing with both of them, and it's something where I try to understand it as well. And I'm at a point in my life now where God has given me the boldness to just, hey, the first time I get to sit down with Lil Wayne, you best believe it's not trying to get a feature from him. It's not trying to talk to him about anything that's gonna help me. It's about what's gonna help our people. And it's just trying to understand him, not even cast judgment on him, but just understand him. Because the people he has in his circle, the yes men who know better, but who he pays their salary, you know what I mean? They, for whatever reason, are gonna keep quiet, even if they know, man, some of the decisions Wayne makes aren't healthy for him or for our people. They're not gonna say anything, and I'm not in that position. Like you said, it's financial Juneteenth over here, baby. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. Like I'm straight. So now I just ask God to bless me with those opportunities to be able to reach these brothers, and that's what I've been doing lately. I would say like the last year really of my life. I just kind of had like a life flash before my eyes to where it's like, man, God has, like, my barber. I was getting my hair twisted yesterday, and he was trimming up my little beard and my mustache, and he told me, he said, man, do you feel like you look up to the stars at this point, or you just look around and see them like you're on eye level with them? And I was like, that's crazy. I definitely don't feel like I look up to the stars anymore. Like I see them amongst me, and now I'm comfortable enough knowing that I belong, and I know why I'm in the room. I know why I have Kendrick Lamar's phone number, or or access to Lil Boosie, or this, that, and the third, or like I know why. So now it's just hustling for opportunities, and I make music from the point from the perspective that I'm trying to reach my audience, but whenever possible, I'm trying to reach these brothers. You know what I'm saying? I really am, and I've been seeing some positive fruit. They say that we're gonna be judged by the type of fruit we produce. I've been seeing some positive fruit come about from my interactions with other rappers, because I think it's important, man. Like, they not bad people, man. I haven't met too many that I'm just like, this is just a bad person. Like, I feel like I'm talking to human beings 7 out of 10 times when I interact with these other rappers that the world like just glorifies so much.
Just 7 out of 10, huh?
Oh yeah, them other three. Them other three, I keep it moving. I act like I got a phone call. Like, oh, this is my man Boyce on the line. I gotta go. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.
You know
Yeah,
what, man? I think that's great, man. I like that approach too because, I've listened to a lot of your music. I mean, my Spotify, is filled up with all your albums, and I like the way you and I think it was shown best in the song Jay Weezy and 50 that you did. I like the way you don't just come like you'll criticize when necessary, but you mostly spend your time elevating the thinking of other people as opposed to just saying, you're stupid, this is wrong. It's more like, you know what, you could do this better. And I think sometimes I agree with what you're saying. I mean, when I meet a lot of guys like that, it's like that public persona is almost like it's a person they never met really. It's almost like they have this there because they don't have the courage to feel like it's okay to just be you. If you're a sensitive black man who loves your mama, it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to pretend to be this caricature that was built for you by somebody else. So and speaking of that, man, I want to go into this situation with this mixtape. Speaking of Lil Wayne, you made a mixtape. Lil Wayne's name was in there somewhere, and it got banned. Like, what's going on
yeah,
with that?
yeah. My mixtape got banned. It was called "Separated at Birth." It was supposed to drop about a month ago, and man, the industry, this industry is crazy, man. I received some phone calls right before the mixtape was gonna come out, right before it was gonna drop. I received some phone calls telling me that I couldn't put the mixtape out. And of course I'm like, why? I got thousands of fans waiting on this mixtape. And I was told that there were some phone calls made behind closed doors, and that my record label would potentially be getting sued if I ended up putting this mixtape out. And this is based on conversations that were had. So in my head at that point, I was upset, but that was thrown out there to me. So I said, well, cool. Let's get to the bottom of it. If it's actually a lawsuit that could come about from this, all I was doing was taking Lil Wayne's beats and flipping a lot of his biggest hits into more positive, conscious alternatives, of his songs over his beats. That's what the premise of the mixtape was. It's called Separated at Birth. It was inspired by you, whether or not you know it, from an interview I heard you do, where you were talking about the similarities we have as young black men and as lyrical geniuses, but the marked difference in our subject matter and in what we choose to do with our gift. And I was like, man, that'd be a cool idea to do a whole tape based on that concept. You heard me? So, um, yeah, they told me it couldn't come out, and I said, well, let's talk to the lawyers, and let's talk to the actual lawyers and find out what's illegal or potentially gonna get us sued if we put this out. And then from there, I was told a whole other list of things about why it couldn't come out.
Mm.
Apparently, oh, and we worried about your physical safety if you put it out because there's potential death threats. You know what I mean? Being made against you and this type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, where's this coming from? Like, who? Like, at this point, I need to know who. Like, are y'all saying this because y'all are scared, or are people telling y'all this and I need to be made aware of this because I walk around this city with no gun, with no security. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, that's my security. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm good, man. Like I'm straight, and I'm about to go to the store after this interview. You know what I mean? Go make some groceries, like for real. So I'm good, but it was all this stuff told to me, and the most upsetting part was some other things that um I'd rather not say them on camera right now, but it's some other things that really just let me know that this music that I make is a lifestyle for me. This is like a reflection of who I am as a man. Like I put my all into this, and for other people, it's just it it's just a it's just a job for them. It's a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, and it's not something where they have any real desire to want to curate, the narrative of young black men and what we trying to do for our people as a whole. I'm like, I want to sell records while I help my people. I don't want it to be either or, and I don't feel like there's a disconnect. I don't want to just sell records, but then not do it in a way that you know how they say like this ain't your mama's civil rights movement or something. I seen t-shirts with that. Like that's how I feel about this ain't your mama's conscious rapper. You know what I mean? Because with me, is not something where it's always gonna be safe or it's always gonna be just very bland. You know what I mean? Like the way I choose to go about my stuff. I'm from New Orleans, man. Like we got a natural aura about us that's like just like spicy, that's like very cultured, and the way I choose to do things might be bold or might turn heads sometimes, but it comes from a place of love, of me wanting to genuinely like spread love and wanting to educate, because I'm a teacher before anything. So long story short, like I said, some stuff was said and I had to play chess, not checkers. And I was like, well, the checkers move is to say, man, forget all these people that's in my ear saying don't put it out, record label people and all this. Forget all of y'all. I'ma just put it out anyway, and y'all, y'all could feel however y'all want to feel. That's the checkers move. Make all these people mad, make all these fans happy. But because I'm signed to a record label now, these people that are mad, I also gotta go see them in 2 weeks and talk to them about my new project, my new album that I'm gonna release in January. You hear me?
Mm.
Meanwhile, I just pissed these people off though and made them very mad. And now I gotta talk to them about this. That's playing checkers, because now I know what's gonna happen if I piss these people off, but then I gotta come right back to them and talk about us collectively being excited about putting out, my new this my new project that we're looking to unleash to the world. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I had to play chess, and because the reason why I chose to play chess, boys, is because the new music that I am going to put out um is honestly going to change so many lives and going to affect so many people on a massive scale that it's going to do far more than this mixtape could have done. So me knowing that, I didn't want, I'd rather the mixtape get banned than have my next album get banned. You know what I mean? The next album, I already know the title is called I Fight. You know what I mean? Because everything I've been going through, man, personally, professionally, in relationships with, and all this stuff, man. Like, how do I deal with it all? I fight. You know what I mean? I don't run from it. I fight. I lay down on this sofa. I might cry sometimes. I might have to pray on stuff. But at the end of the day, I wake up every day and I fight. And I want that to see the light of day. So I was like, you know what? They banned the mixtape. But you can't, I'm bigger than a mixtape. You can't ban the Hope Man. You know what I mean? I'm the Hope Man. Like, you can't ban me. So that's how I feel.
Well, some parts of the mixtape are got released from what I understand, right? You had a couple
Yeah, yeah.
songs that kind of get out there, right?
That's the other thing. Two of the songs are out there. They're on my SoundCloud right now. SoundCloud / D1 Music, DEE1 Music. One of them is called Call Your Bluff, and one of them is called The Black is Hot. They on SoundCloud right now. And
Mm. I'm
you
gonna
know,
check it
I
out.
send you whatever. Behind closed doors, I shoot
Right.
it to your email, send you whatever on them. But
Hey,
yeah,
well, you know what? If I wasn't trying to, protect your relationship with your label, man, I got a little network. We got about 250,000 people on our mail, so I can push it out there, but I'm not gonna do that, man.
right, right,
I'm gonna
right.
respect it, and support it, man, because I think that that your voice, I think your voice is so critical, and